Hey, so I've got Synthetic Jungle here, and I've had it for a while now, and I've worn it pretty extensively. We got acquainted pretty good, so I'm going to discuss this. I know I've done a few videos on Frederic Malle Synthetic Jungle already, but it was mostly just first impressions and kind of thoughts and ideas before we had even smelt it in the live stream. So I've worn this about a half dozen times, and I gotta say, it is easily becoming one of, if not my favorite Frederic Malle perfumes, one of my favorite perfumes. I'm just really enjoying this, and I think it's because it kind of meets everything that I enjoy in a perfume. It's got, weirdly, it's got a fresh accord, maybe even some ozonic notes and galbanum, but it's the indoles that I'm most drawn to, and I find myself like looking forward to it. And it's funny, I went to go pick up my son the other day, and he has this weird ritual or this habit, or it's just very customary of him. Before he gets into the car, he kind of sneaks up to the driver's door. He surprises me. He opens the door and he gives me a big hug. Well, the last time he kind of buried his face in my chest, and he's like, his words exactly were, "Something smells like shit." And I was like, oh, I don't smell anything. And it just might be because I'm so used to these types of things where they don't affect me, or I don't notice how other people will perceive them. I'm just really comfortable in things that smell indolic or barnyardy or slightly vulgar or uncapped. And I thought for a moment, I had a perfume on my hand, and my scent of the day was Synthetic Jungle, and I asked him to smell my hand, and he's like, no, that actually smells good. And I was like, okay, smell here, smell my chest. He's like, oh, that's it, that smells like shit, whatever it is. And I was like, damn. And in that moment, it was like, I went from, I love this perfume to, it was true love. Like instantly, like the moment he said that smells like shit, it just turned everything for me right around. And I was like, all right, this is the one. This is like a match made in heaven. I'm a big fan of Lily of the Valley. Synthetic Jungle is seemingly becoming evident of being a Lily of the Valley perfume more than anything. It's got a lot of other things, but it's Lily of the Valley that really stands out to me. And it's this slightly dry, slightly leathery. Man, I don't want to go as far as calling it barnyardy, but I've had several people tell me it's not a pleasant perfume. And I understand that. I get it. I see where they're coming from. But it's that contrast of dry. I'll call it indolic. It might be barnyardy to some, a little bit poopy. And if so, it's just like in the slightest way possible. But and it's just a really nice contrast to the freshness of this perfume. And like I was saying, I'm a big fan of the Lily of the Valley. I like it. It's this weird floral. It's not the most pleasant smelling floral, but I like Christian Dior's Lucky. I think it's one of Francois Demiché's best works. I'm a big fan of Muguet Porcelain from Hermes. It's probably my favorite. Muguet or Lily of the Valley. Obviously Guerlain's overpriced Muguet is insane. Every year they come out with a new Muguet. And that's really as far as my knowledge of Muguet or Lily of the Valley is. I'm not familiar with Diorissimo. I can't recall smelling it, or I'm not very familiar with it at all, but I like the greenness. I like the fresh aspect. I love how, Frederic Malle introduces earth tones to this. It smells very natural. It smells like being out in a forest or the jungle, whatever you have it. And I'm just kind of reminded by the simplicity of a beautiful nature. Fresh air. It is quite ozonic, weirdly, but I like it. I enjoy it. It's got depth. It's got substance. It's not just fresh for the sake of being fresh. There are some fruity tones to it, and it's not just straight up black currant. This, to me, it smells much more fruitier than a solo floor or a single fruit. And it kind of, at times, I'm reminded of the watermelon accord in Parfums de Trace, and that's got this watermelonish, aldehydic jasmine. And again, it's not one of the most easiest perfumes to wear, but there's something in Synthetic Jungle that connects me back to Parfums de Trace. And I think it might be they're kind of sharing a similar fruity tone, or maybe even the jasmine that Synthetic Jungle has is borrowing from Parfums de Trace. And I'm not saying that they are the same perfume, they're not, but they're both kind of got that fresh floral thing going on. Both brilliant perfumes. I actually, and this might be a sin to say, but I feel more connected to Synthetic Jungle. I love the greenness of it. I just like how he's gone and recreated God's work and just being out in nature and enjoying the moment. And that's kind of what I feel when I wear this. And I think, as great as, let's say, it's been 2 years since a release has been put out before this, and it was like, I think in the same year they released The Moon and Rose and Queer. I can't remember which one was first, and as much as I like The Moon, it sort of feels cliche to me. It feels like it's another rose oud perfume, and I get it, it's a great perfume, but I much prefer these more traditional, classic green perfumes. Even though Synthetic Jungle doesn't smell vintage or classic or outdated, it's a green theme. It's a modern green theme. And I also enjoy Rose and Queer also because it's green more than something like The Moon. So I am more connected to these deeper greens. I just feel really at home with them, and I've seen a lot of reviews where people say, yeah, it's great conceptually, but as far as functionality, they don't feel comfortable in it, and it's complete opposite for me. And we all have our tastes, and we're free to enjoy and wear whatever it is that we like, but this is something that I feel very at home in, and I've gotten more negative comments, let's say, than compliments, and that never influences me in how I'm going to wear perfume. I'm comfortable in whatever I'm wearing, unless it's a blue Windex perfume. I'm not comfortable wearing those because I find them just really tasteless and childish, and they're just not for me. I feel very little connection. So when I wear a perfume, I like to have an emotional collection as well, but a connection, and I kind of want to, take a deep dive into the perfumer's mind and the creator's mind, and trying to figure out what exactly they were trying to do. So as far as I'm concerned, Synthetic Jungle is a big hit. I love it, and I've worn it already, in the 10 days that I've had it, probably a half dozen times, so I've really taken to it. Bitter, yes, it starts off quite bitter with that galbanum. Almost feel like there's some kind of, because of the freshness, I feel like there's almost like this bitter lemongrass, or maybe a neroli, I don't know, but something green. It's obviously very verdant, and it never really strays from green. I don't see any other colors. Maybe some whites for sap or milk, but I don't really get any other earth tones but green. I don't get browns. I even find it hard to picture like an oak moss or a patchouli, and if they're there, they're very soft and very subdued. But to me, it's mostly, it's green, it's galbanum, it's bitter, it's fruity, and I get that lily of valley in heaps, and it's pissy and indolic, slightly dry, slightly leathery, and I don't know, possibly barnyardy for some. barnyardy might be an aggressive word. It might not be barnyardy, but like Frederic calls it, vulgar, unkept, slightly dirty. Exactly the type of thing that I really enjoy in my perfumes. It just gives it substance and it gives it character. And weirdly, something to connect to. I don't know what that is. Maybe connecting to the primitive mind. Who knows? Going back to caveman days. Who knows what they used to do back then, right? But there you go, Synthetic Jungle. Easily becoming one of my favorites, at least for this season. I don't remember wearing anything as much as I've been reaching for this, but big fan. There you go. Let us know in the comments down below. I know there's been a lot of discussion and debate whether people like it, whether it's wearable. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you enjoy wearing it other than the beauty behind the art? Always enjoy your comments. Love seeing your faces. And we will see you soon.